Hi, I'm Lisa.
Hi, I'm Michael, and we help individuals and couples cultivate a no-surrender mindset so they can thrive.
This is the month of love.
And sex. Yes, you heard me right. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you.
And me.
Because sex can be such a sensitive topic, depending on your beliefs and your ability to communicate, we've been avoiding this subject for quite some time. One reason is that it had taken us time ourselves to get comfortable to communicate about our physical intimacy. Now we can talk about sex and generally with anyone, but like almost anything else, when it comes close to home, it becomes real. So let's get real.
This is an issue we're asked often about, and we see couples really struggle with it. With it being Valentine's Day and all, we thought this was the perfect time. You see, this March 2022, we will have been married for 26 years. We have been through some truly amazing years, and others have brought us to our knees, put us in the hospital, had us sitting across from counselors, and learning who each other was over and over and over.
Yep. There have been times when both of us were fulfilled sexually, on fire, and leaving us wanting just to stay there doing whatever we were doing forever. Of course, we have to stop with some food and water. And then there's been times when it was awkward. One of us distracted, it feels flat, kind of disappointing, and yes, even times when it's non-existent, like a freaking desert looking for water. We're going to share with you what we have learned over the years that has helped us. And again, just like anything else, it is our experience that we are sharing and we want to impart to you. And this is based on things that we've read, lessons we learned, people we listened to, and what we tried to do. So with that being said, Lisa is going to bring sexy back.
I'm bringing sexy back. Here are some things that have affected our sex life over the years, and maybe you can relate. Number one, time changes everything.
Yes, it does.
See, in the beginning, your relationship is like in the honeymoon phase where everything is new, it's exciting, you're probably on your best behavior.
Can't keep your hands off each other.
You're often running on endorphins and chemistry. You are focusing on the positive things, but this does come to an end and you begin to disagree. You start arguing over the small things. You recognize your partner's fault, spending time doing those chores and running errands that used to be such an opportunity to be together. Now it's mundane.
Children, need I say another word on this? Next subject. There pretty much requires all of your time, energy. You deal with sleep deprivation, spit up, blowouts, and tantrums. And that's from coming from your partner.
No.
Now, if you add kids in there, that's another story. Now, your time, energy, thoughts evolve around providing for this tiny human being. And I'm sure it's hard to feel sexy as a woman when everything about you has changed. Hormonally, physically. Wouldn't you agree with that, Lisa?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it takes a while to get reacquainted with yourself, let alone with your partner.
Yeah. It was rough to share my wife with our son. And even admitting that brings up feelings of guilt. But I found out that it's a normal feeling to no longer be the center of her attention all the time. Well, I had to adjust. Now, don't get me wrong. I love our son. But it took some time for me to adjust to the new norm. It took us time to adjust to the new norm. How I saw my parents handle marriage and kids was completely different than what Lisa's exposure was. So I had to change that idea and belief system, work on developing my own philosophies and values around being a parent.
Right. Hormones.
Oh, yeah.
Now, women have three hormones. They have estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. And these levels change over time, starting at puberty. And this is when our brains start telling our bodies that it's time to become adults, and the hormones change to prompt these changes. Then they can go haywire during pregnancy when our bodies are actually creating a tiny human being inside of us, and can even do so after we have the baby. And then during premenopause and menopause, perimenopause and menopause.
Whew.
These levels begin to fluctuate and steadily decline until our reproductive organs just stop working altogether. Here are some of the side effects through these stages. Weight gain, moodiness,
Yes.
sleep deprivation,
Absolutely.
fluid retention,
Yes.
extreme tiredness, dizziness, hot flashes, loss of sex drive. Well, of course, it's going to affect your sex life.
Oh, that's just women?
That's just women.
Oh, guys, testosterone levels reach their peak right around age 18 or 19 and before declining throughout the remainder of adulthood, slowly year after year. The effects are libido. Most men maintain at least some amount of sexual interest into their 60s and 70s. So there's a chance, y'all. But if you have low testosterone, it can affect you, and here's how. Diminished lean muscle mass, increased body fat, elevated hemoglobin, A1C, or low trauma bone fractures get weak, sleep, insomnia, fatigue, feeling lazy, difficult concentrating, lack of motivation, and depression. It's hard to feel sexy with these going on. So make sure you're getting checkups to understand your personal health levels. And men, you gotta pay attention to this.
Unexpected events. We spent 10 years recovering from the trauma of the burglary in our home. That event affected us in ways we never expected, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And we couldn't go back to who we used to be before that night.
Nope.
And for the longest time, we were in survival mode. We didn't think about sex
Nope.
or intimacy.
Nope.
We were just trying to survive. And we had to get to know each other all over again.
See, when you or I are struggling with those heavy life stressors, life like how to pay rent, or becoming homeless in the summer in Arizona, where you're going to get food from, because we had no money, not being able to sleep because we're struggling with PTSD, or just not liking where you are in your life.
Yeah.
Personally, we became silos in our same house.
Yeah.
You may find yourselves living together as roommates. The conversations stall, and you only talk to discuss tasks that need to happen, like paying bills, who's going to take care of the kid, pick up the kid, stuff like that. Definitely can put a kibosh on sexiness. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you again and again and again is key.
Mike makes a great point. Getting to know you.
Getting to know.
See, your past
about
sexual
you.
relationships and the exposure to sex, it could build barriers or establish false expectations. It did for us. When we found ourselves comparing each other to our past partners. The same things didn't come as easy. You see, some of those partners that we didn't stay with for a long period of time, and therefore we didn't get to really know them outside of that initial honeymoon phase. So we didn't get to see the mundane, the little annoyances, the quirks. In our minds, it preserved that initial attraction.
Yep. Lisa hits on something that is not often talked about. And our past sexual encounters can affect our healthy sexual life with your partner over the long haul, if not identified and worked through.
That's true.
For instance, those of you who've exposed or watched pornography for long periods of time, sadly, pornography is easily accessible today. The industry sneaks in wherever they can to attract people, which can often lead to addiction. Starting at 8 years old now is the latest statistic. Once you get these images in your mind, it's hard to get them out. Just like an action movie, those scenes are not real. It takes a village to make it look that good. Movies are not real. Pornography scenes now can be uploaded by real couples.
Yeah.
It tends to give a false expectation on how sexual encounters can be. Just because a person sees a couple having sex on screen does not mean it will be like that for them, because there's another person involved.
Yep.
And they may not want to comply to your expectations. This is for men as well as women. For an example, women look at romantic movies, novels, short clips of some hunky dude being sexy and talking about his feelings and being romantic. It can be impossible to live up to that expectations that are portrayed. This can damage an existing relationship or set up false expectations for a new relationship.
That's a great point. How about this one?
Okay?
People change over the years.
Yes.
And what used to excite
What?
them, it may not excite them anymore. And
Reality.
that's okay. Speaking for myself,
Okay.
when I was younger, the physical attraction, it was a priority.
Yep.
I really didn't think about goals or values or work ethic until I became a lot older. And I was looking for my life mate, a partner to grow with. And suddenly there was more than just that physical attraction.
Yep. And Lisa didn't intend on me being bald later in life.
Still sexy.
Right? We have spoken with a lot of older people who are
Yeah.
separated, divorced, or widowed. But now who have a completely different idea of what they're looking for in a partner. What excites them intimately and sexually over the years has changed, like it has with us. We just stay together through those phases. Sometimes they can stem from a negative issues that they have not dealt with, but often they come from an experience, personal growth, and knowing what you want and desire in a relationship. That takes communication.
Yeah. Now, what about knowing what your partner likes? We have discussed in the past just how important communication is. And this should include communicating about sex.
Yep.
You got to plan a time to talk about it.
Yep.
Tell your partner what you enjoy already. Be honest with them about what you would like differently. Be sure that you understand what you're hearing back from them. Stay open-minded. Be a good listener. Be open to making changes and don't take things too personally. Remember, what we need as we get older changes, so your sex life is going to need some changes as well.
Absolutely.
The more you talk about it with each other, the less uncomfortable it will be. You see, I need emotional, intimate connection. That is completely different than what Michael needs. And now that I'm hitting premenopause and menopause, it's important that I communicate what is going on with me to Michael so that he can work with me. If I expect him to just read my mind or know what I need and what I want, I am setting myself up for disappointment.
Our sexual fantasies and desires are met in different ways. It's much better when we talk about it openly. It's always going to be a little frustrating and uncomfortable at first. After all, we want what is best for each other. We want to meet each other's needs in a healthy manner. It's just got to do it. Listen, we're talking to you as couples who are committed to one another.
Right.
If you are in the getting to know one another phase, talking about intimacy with each other, likes, don't like, what is a deal breaker, helps you know ahead of time. Lisa and I want to share this with you due to how hard it was for us to figure this out on our own. Keep this in mind. There's not a cookie cutter guru that has all the answers. We read a lot, we looked a lot, and then we created our own dialogue. I'm going to date myself here, but there was a story about this musician, Sting, and a long time ago, that he and his wife, that they taught them how to have intimate, passionate sex for hours. Now, Lisa are not in that league, nor do we want to be in that league. But if you have the time, desire, and ability to relax like that, then go for it. If not, seek and find the information for you to.
Be a seeker.
Be a seeker.
Seeing your partner with a new pair of glasses. Look, people, we all get older. Our bodies change. Our minds change. I know I will never look like I did at 18, and I'm okay with that. Carrying a tiny human being inside my body for 9 months and then giving birth is going to change my body. I had to look at myself with a new pair of glasses and accept the reality of it. Being realistic about my health goals, diet, exercise, it helped me to do that. And once I gained my confidence back in myself, I could display that confidence to my husband because confidence is sexy.
Yes, it is.
Now, when I look at my husband, I still find him sexy as hell. He looks nothing like the man that I met and married. And he is covered with scars from protecting our family during that burglary. I call him my human pincushion.
Or a holy man.
I can't tell you how attractive that is. Someone who will fight at that level for me, for our son. It goes way beyond the physical and it connects at a much deeper level. Michael busted his butt And he became the first in his family to graduate from college and then go on to receive his master's in professional counseling. Watching the effort that he gave night after night, after working a full day at work, eating at his desk, giving up fantasy football for homework, that was tough. That big brain of his, it is damn sexy. Now, when I met Michael, his hair was longer than mine. And I was scared when he decided to shave his head, but now it just adds to the appeal. And he's not weighing in at 135 pounds anymore.
When we met.
But he's what I call buff.
Whatever.
I like to say that I've been married to 10 different men, all within the same body, and I love this one more than ever. Attraction is a mindset.
When I first met Lisa, and she was 6'4" and 5-inch heels, weighing in at 118 pounds. Come on now. I'm not sure if it was lust or love, but who cares when I was 31 years old and she was 24 years old. And as Lisa stated, we changed. And with change, I had to change how I saw Lisa and myself. When we became parents, I saw Lisa change into an incredible mother. The only thing she wanted was to stay home and be a good wife and mother. I wish I could have given that to her, but wanting to have a better life, we both had to work. And I saw her truly as a partner, someone who would do what is necessary, right? And I trusted her. I leaned on her. And for the first time ever, I was dependent on having a woman in my life. When we experienced that terrible night together, she didn't run. I was hoping she would for her safety, but she jumped into the chaos of that fight. Who does that? Well, while I was in ICU, then in a recovery unit for almost 2 weeks, she was dealing with detectives where we were going to live because our house was a crime scene. For weeks, the bills kept coming in. At this time in our life, I saw her as one of the stronger human beings I knew. And she became my ride or die partner. For months after that event, I was so swollen and physical, unable to have sex. My son couldn't hug me, and I was emotionally messed up. I did not feel like my body was my own. I felt unattractive. Lisa, however, kept working on herself mentally, kept being intentional on looking her best for me. She still does today. And when I say, honey, be casual, she says, honey, I want to look nice so you have something nice to look at. I know how visual you are, and I want to do my best to provide that for you. In return, it makes me do my best to be attractive for her. She watches sports with me because she knows that I like it. Shoulder to shoulder time. And she makes up these silly names or players to help her remember them. I know she's intentional in connecting with me. I know she wants to be with me, wants to please me within reason. And for me, that is sexy as hell, people.
Number 3, gotta make time for sex. Yes, we actually schedule this. Our lives are busy.
Yep.
Spontaneity doesn't always come at the right time.
Nope.
I love looking forward to our planned time together and knowing that we are making this a priority.
For us.
See, the goal of just having more sex, that didn't work for us.
Nope.
We had to put it on paper and attach a time frame to it.
Yep. And a rule that I try to live by is this. If it's not written down, don't expect it to get done. We schedule time to spend with each other. This may or may not lead to having physical intimacy or sex. That's okay, because connecting with one another is key in our bond as husband and wife for the long haul.
Right.
The more we connect, the better we feel about each other's personal needs, living life together, doing things together, seeing things together, trying new things together, talking about what's on our minds, right? It's connecting. Yes, fellas, I had to evolve, work on identifying and verbalizing my thoughts and my emotions. Lisa doesn't expect me to be one of her BFFs and how we communicate. And I don't expect her to just nod, make noises, and talk about sports and manly things that I like. We do, however, expect one another to attempt to be interested in each other as individuals. The best laid plans will sometimes not work out.
That's right.
I can plan an evening together and do all the things that my girl likes that week in preparation to expect a night full of fun, or at least an hour of physical connection. Then I get upset stomach from something new I ate, or we get into a topic that is not okay for a date night, like finances, kids, or hurts we have done to one another. Yeah. And just like that, sexy is out the window. It's not coming back that night.
How about this one? Crock pot versus a microwave. From a sexual standpoint, men, not all men, but most men, they are like microwaves. They can heat up pretty quickly.
30 seconds.
Now, most women, like myself, we're like crock pots. It takes us a while to heat up. Yep. And now that I'm getting older, I desire and need more attention leading up to sex. I can be a microwave if I can get my mind to focus on just that one thing, sex. But it's hard to get the mind to cooperate. So because of our good communication, Michael does things to help me, to help my mind reflect on it, such as holding my hand, playing with my hair when we're watching TV, or he'll compliment me. He listens to me. He sends me romantic or sexy text messages. And all these things add to the anticipation of when we do have sex. They are little deposits in my love bank.
It's not about perfection. It's about progress. As Lisa stated, a good point. But again, everyone is in different phases. Yeah. Some people have times of the day that works best for them, where Lisa has to warm up now. She did not when we first met, right? Believe me, she didn't need that much warm up. Yeah. I am more of a night person due to my mind being so busy during the day and associate night with relaxation. Yeah. Now, if we set the mood during the day, well, that can be a different result. But like Lisa, I too like when she communicates to me throughout the week that she wants me physically. It's hot, creates anticipation in my mind, and then I say, that is freaking hot.
And being spontaneous.
What is that?
There are times when the moment just hits us. And we've learned that we must take advantage of those times. Yep. If we accept each other just the way that we are currently, we're communicating about our desires, we're intentionally building the anticipation towards our times together by being intimate, then when the moment hits, we're ready.
Ba-boom. We are more spontaneous when we were younger.
That's true.
And daring.
That's true.
And creative.
That's true.
And then we struggled after a decade.
That's true.
Blamed on our busy lives for not being like the couples we see on TV shows and in movies. Going into a bathroom at a party, getting our sexy on, right? Or coming home during lunch for a quickie. We realized for us, we had to stop comparing, right? And create our own rules. Yeah. So far, so good. Right, Lisa?
That's right.
Because we ain't squeezing in the bathroom anymore.
Oh, no. Definitely not. Here's another one that we have learned over the years. Give your partner what they desire and prepare. Now, I know respect is very important to my husband, and I purposefully check this through my days. I am not perfect, but I do my best. I know my husband is a very visual person. I know that he loves when I dress nice and I put my makeup on. I know the small, intimate details that he enjoys. Guess why? Because we talk about it. I love my husband and I make it a priority to give him what he desires. Not because I must, but because I want him to be happy and fulfilled.
I know that my girl is not a machine that can click on and off like a light switch, right? And off to the races sexually. I know she desires me. I know, like me, it's getting our attention into each other so the results are satisfying for the both of us.
That's right.
Not just her and not just me. Nothing's perfect, but we strive for a win-win, if you know what I mean. Change your environment. Get out of your house. Go to a hotel. A staycation is what we do. Go out somewhere and return home. Setting up your room for the return. These are all important to her and me as well. Got to immerse in romantic feelings and then it's on.
And just like the other areas in life, plan, do, review, and practice. We have found that this is a never-ending work in progress. Yep. Sometimes our plans don't always go the way that we'd hoped. Sometimes we have to take a rain check. Sometimes it turns out better than we anticipated. Yep. Sometimes we try something new or different and it is totally awkward.
Yep.
But one thing is for certain, we continue to practice. Is the mother of skill.
Time changes the game with couples, kids, no kids, medical problems, physical problems, emotional and mental problems. We have to communicate and accept as humans we are going to change as individuals and of course as couples. And our sex life will as well. External issues, life stress, changes in our appearance, and finances can create problems. We have to not lose sight of the importance of communicating to feel like partners. So there can be some sexual and physical connection. So that can happen. Remember the mantra I live by. If it's not written down, it is not happening.
That's right.
That can help. That being said, there is room for variables that are beyond a person's control. Give grace. Stop comparing yourself to others and decide for you two what is okay in the bedroom and when. It was freeing when we had a truthful talk about what each other's likes. We called it the admission of allowing our freak flag to fly with one another. We accept the changes will happen.
Yeah.
Enjoy those things when you can and be patient when things are not going your way sexually. You remember, if you're partners, if you are the ride or die partners, you are intentional on problem solving and communicating. Things will work out.
Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to receive our upcoming videos this year. You will not want to miss out on them. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Michael. And we hope that this will help bringing sexy back in your relationship.
Bring sexy back.
Until next time.
Bye.
We'll see you later.